welcome to another interesting episode of this special series, Life's True Value, where we try to understand the real value of experience through unique perspectives. Return on experience, or ROX as they call it, is the hottest buzzword doing rounds in the corporate circle these days. Corporate leaders are leaving no stone unturned to improve the ROX for their customers as well as people. But have you ever wondered how important ROX would be for these leaders when they choose the place which they call their home? Hi, I am Anku Goyal, and in this episode, we will continue our journey to understand ROX from all new perspective and try to discover its intricate connection with luxurious residential properties. We will explore the reason why people who know how to extract maximum value from every single penny invested choose to invest huge amount of money in luxurious home. Is it about making a statement, social status, or something more profound? We'll figure this out and more with our special guest, who not only thoroughly understands the concept of ROX, but is also one of the residents of this heavenly place called 25South, which redefines affluence and opulence. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Samir Vora. With a seasoned career in chemical industry, Mr. Samir Vora is presently the Regional Business Director at Milliken India, where he's looking after the coating technologies business for India, Middle East, Africa, Australia and New Zealand. A chemical engineer by academic training, Mr. Vora is an ardent traveler and an absolute food lover. Mr. Vora has a wealth of experience over 30 years and understands every aspect of the business and finance inside out. So let us tap into his knowledge and wisdom to understand the concept of return of experience and its intricate connection to the place of living, particularly with a distinguished personality like Mr. Vora. Welcome to the show, Mr. Vora. It's a pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for joining us today on this episode. Sir, I would like to not build up too much, but first, with the kind of leadership role you have played for years in your company, I would want to understand from you this whole concept of return on experience and how it is related now to the residential property we live in or we choose.
So basically, this is an investment as well, right? You're investing money, time in building a property, and therefore, what experience you want from it, the value of that experience is also very critical. And that I think it differs for different people. Some people may want amenities, some people may want something else, space, location. But I think for me, it's all of that together is the experience, and that's what I look at it as return of experience when you buy a residential property.
So it has become important today, even with reference to the residential properties, that means.
I think so, because typically you don't change your residential property every 2-3 years, 4 years or whatever. So it's a long-term investment, and for that, in that regard, return on experience is quite critical and important.
What do you think could be some common factors while you are valuing the experience in any residential property?
As I said, amenities is one, security, location, the space that you're buying the house, the size of the house. So I think these are few of the key components that you look at. You look at the people, the other neighbors in the neighborhood that you're going to live in. So all these form a factor, and I think they're very individualistic for people. Each as well. I think all this put together it makes 25 South, I think, an extremely good residential property in this city at least.
So it is quite satisfying for you to have this experiential return that we are trying to understand?
Yeah, very satisfied. I think very satisfied, because the builder has delivered what he has promised, right? You see a lot of these brochures, and you see a lot of these things where they look good on a print, but the experience doesn't happen. I think 25 South,
value of experience.
I think so. I'm really happy here.
So let us explore more of this place, and let's go to the other areas and figure out how this property is and how this has made your experience much more enhanced as you thought.
Sure.
Let us take a tour. are we really at the place which is the main hub for this property? And can you also tell me which is your favorite spot here in this property at 25 South?
Yeah, I think this is it, right? This is good. Everything that you can see the basketball and football court behind. There's the swimming pool and the gym behind me. There is the amphitheater and a walking kind of a track, though they have a bigger one on the ground floor. So I think this is where everyone collects and comes together. There's a banquet hall on this level on the left-hand side. And there's a restaurant that's coming up. So I think this is where everything comes together, and I just love it, and you just look at the view around.
So especially you're such a social person, as I can understand with your personality, especially in this space where you have so many choices. You told me, which is one's favorite spot that this is where I spend maximum time.
So I would say the gym or the swimming pool, right? So I've been a sports guy.
Wow.
I played badminton, and then my daughter's been a swimmer all her life. So swimming pool and the gym would be I think they're coming up with a badminton court as well in the North Tower. So then that would be my favorite place to be.
So I think fair enough for you to go back to your good old badminton days and enjoy them now when you said there's a court coming around.
Yeah, if there's a court here, that I'll probably get tempted to go back to the sport and start playing again.
But I have this question from the beginning now, which I want to put it through you. What was that struck to you when you chose 25 South as the place you want to live in?
I think it's the vibe, and my wife fought it before me, and she said this is where we should buy a house. I think it's the vibe, it's the feel, it's just it's so positive. The whole area and the whole location feels very, very positive. I think that's what pulled us to this place.
So when you first saw it, you had zeroed down that this is it. It took you a lot of time to come back to it. How did that whole episode happen?
Yeah, it's an interesting question you asked, because we came to this property when there was nothing here except for a building. So when I came in here, that the Hindustan office was there, the old office, and the sales guy at that point of time took us to the terrace, hardly 3-story building. And what we saw from that terrace and the breeze and the whole vibe and the location, and I think that's when we got sold. We said we will come and buy a property here. So that's how we landed up.
Do you see that reality come through the way you thought that day? Has it been more beautiful, or you think it was a good decision? It did turn up the way you thought.
I think it's turned out more than what I thought. Yeah, right? Because they've really, as you can see around me,
yes,
they've delivered on all the aspects and with quality products.
Yes.
So when you're buying a project, you have that little thing but the builder has gone ahead and delivered quality products. So I think that's
some way the choices that you made that day has come to a realistic, good value of experience for you.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And one more thing, since I can see this has a direct connect to the ocean, do you have that feel of, the cross ventilation, watching over the ocean, that benefit that you see in the south?
Yes. So my apartment does have that. So my apartment has windows on either side.
Okay.
In the master bedroom as well as in the living room.
Yes.
So we have full benefits of cross ventilation. So I think there are quite a few wings that have that.
So which part of your own living space is your favorite? You've told me about the property, but inside your house, where do you spend more time or you want to look forward to?
Okay, so besides my bar, that is, I would say the balcony. The balcony is surely my favorite place. It just kind of de-stresses me during work or early in the morning, having a cup of tea or a coffee.
Yeah.
Just standing in the balcony, looking at the ocean, it's very calming.
So that is how you burn your stress off, and you can just look over to the...
Yeah, it's very relaxing, right? There's nothing relaxing as nature is, and this property has abundance of nature to give you. So
that's a great amenity added.
It is. Look at the trees around, and
yes,
it's got a lot.
So let's explore some business side to the property and go to the business center.
Sure.
So Mr. Vora, we have come to the business center at 25 South, and this is a place where we really want to talk about your work. So let me start understanding from you, how do you think there's a correlation between the place you're living and the work productivity we create? And why I'm saying that is also because, how we live with what mind and energy we stay at our place, it might as well impact at the work we perform at our workplace. How do you think about that?
I think you're absolutely right, because it's a combination of several factors, right? One, my work itself, I work for a US multinational. So work doesn't kind of stop at 5:36. Several times in a week, the calls go beyond 6:30 and they last until 9 o'clock.
That's quite early.
So, yeah, but maybe 9:30 at the most. But what happens is that, as you said, the work and the work from home as well is now becoming a culture. So space for an office within a house is now becoming very critical and essential. So that's one thing that this particular property gives you the option of having that space or create that space within your house.
So is it, you're talking about the workspace in your living space, but if you are stepping out and going to your office, do you carry that vibe of your house there?
It does come, right? When you go in the morning, it does come. And then where we are sitting here, it's a business center. So even if you have to meet some people, you can always come and use this facility that is provided. So you kind of bring it down as well with you. So I think it goes with you, right? It's a part of you, your house.
So after coming to 25 South, did you feel that your work productivity took some high and showed immediate, like, oh my God, I now feel a little more energetic. My work really has more benefits for this.
Yeah, certainly. Because it's the distance to my office is in Powai, Hiranandani. So the distance has been, I lived at Breach Candy earlier. Okay. So the commute is much, much lesser, which makes me productive. The second and most important part is that you don't get that much of disturbance that you get when you're working from a smaller home in this. So I think productivity just tends to get, everyone knows that you're in this space and it's your office time. Unlike a smaller house or a house that doesn't have that facility, you tend to get disturbed with what's happening around you. So productivity, yes, it does go high.
With the kind of work life you have as a chemical engineer, it sounds only very heavy. Do you think it's very stressful? And if so, what is your way of handling your stress?
So it does get stressful at times, but it's not always stressful. So it's stressful. It's as you rightly said, how do you handle stress? So I kind of do deep breathing. I do a little bit of meditation in the morning before I go to work. So that's I run in the morning. That's the biggest de-stress actually of all is the morning run, right? You go for a 5 to 6K run and come back and you're ready to go. All it just kind of goes away.
It offloads all the work stress that you're carrying.
All morning run is like a must.
So we take that as a therapy that you give.
I think so. But any form of exercise, I would say, is a therapy. Yeah. For me, it's a run.
It is, I truly believe. But in your living space, is there a way that you channelize your energy and it helps you offload the stress and breathe into it?
So there are places, right? So as I said, the balcony, there's a beautiful balcony which overlooks the ocean, and that's I think the most relaxing part where and you can even shut the living room windows, so you have that space where probably you sipping a cup of coffee and just taking that 10-minute break. So that's detaching and coming to a breather and yet getting back to your work. Yeah, you have to get back to work, right?
Very quickly, just 3 things if you can tell me what really adds value to your work life with a good living space that you now own. What could that come to you? Like 3 things straight.
I think, as I said, increased productivity. Mm-hmm. That's one. Second is the ability to de-stress. I just come and forget everything. Yeah. And third, as I say, I get more time because I am now much closer to my workplace in case I have to go every day.
I think that is a complete solution to a successful work life and a good business.
I think so. If you save time, if you're closer to your workplace, then that time is especially in a city like Mumbai. So if you save half an hour or 25 minutes either way, traveling to your workplace.
So time is money, as you said. Thank you so much, Mr. Vora, for sharing your experience, your thoughts, your insights, and making this conversation not just comprehensive but insightful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So we come to the end of this great episode with Mr. Vora, who gave us great insight to the understanding of value of experience and how our living space can have a direct impact into our work life and of course our personal life. With this, we leave you to understand, have your own understanding about your living space and of course have a great life and a healthy life. Stay tuned.